Hi, I'm Evan Pantazi. I wanted to talk to you today about the Bubishi again. Some people see the Bubishi as a historical document, and it is. It has a lot of great information from a time long gone. And some people think of it as a fantasy book or a mythological marvel. And for them, it can be. For me, I think it's a workbook. Okay, now I don't dismiss the history in it. I love the history. It's great to read. It's good to see some of the connections. But I look at the keys that are giving me ability to work the material inside that Bubishi. And it's been amazing so far. I've let out a few of the keys on Kyusho.com, a few more in the subscription service. I don't really want to go too much further into a lot of them because it's our people that are doing the hard work and research into it. And what we're finding is it breaks down into the animal styles, it breaks down into yin and yang, it breaks down into a lot of these components of the Chinese martial arts that have long been forgotten because of the westernization of karate in particular. All right, and where they transformed especially the China hand into the empty hand. And that was the big transformation. That was the that's where we lost all the ability to actually take a look at the Bubishi in a workbook type of a fashion and as a manual to help us in our studies, and turned it into more of a historical document. So what you need to do is go back and look through that as a workbook. Okay, don't dismiss it as a fantasy. Okay, and don't just relegate it to a historical document. Okay, that means you've given up on the book. Okay, look at it as a continuing set of ideas, a continuing set of techniques and methodologies that you can adapt to and adapt into your martial art and figure out what those katas were all about, especially if you do some of the older katas. The newer ones that were more modernized for sport with the clenched fist, they're going to be a little harder to decipher, but it's quite possible. I did a lot of work on Naihanchi or Naifuanshin kata, and that's almost all closed-fisted. Now, when you look at that and you look at one of the tools of the Bubishi, and think of it as a clenching fist as opposed to the clenched fist, all right, big difference there, all right, then a whole new martial art comes out for you. In fact, you could equate it to the tiger or the black tiger, and everything in that kata shows you that you can do grappling, whether it's standing, whether it's in a clinch, whether it's on the ground. Okay, it's just an ingenious model, okay, for you to follow in your martial art. But when you add the black tiger aspects, and it turns into a whole new thing altogether. It's real self-defense. It's pretty savage, okay? But at the same time, that's what they needed back then, and that's why they developed these katas, to be savage, to protect their lives, their families, their villages. So go back to that Bubishi. Think of it as a workbook rather than a historical model or a fantasy or mythology. Go back and really start looking through it for the tools that you can use, not just dismissing it as an old martial art technique or just equating it to a piece of your kata with some of the generalized martial art actions of like grabbing a leg to throw the person onto the floor. There's more to it, way more to it. If you use the open hand methods of the karate or China hand, then you'll understand a little bit more. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Hit the like button too, because that helps people find this video so they can help their karate as well with Kyusho. Thanks a lot.